Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. It's career mode. It's episode 125. We're in the middle of the Tour de France right now, and we just got through our final regular sprint stage, not counting the Champs-Élysées, and we get into the decisive final 5 competitive stages, 2 punchy stages, 2 mountain stages, and then a punchy time trial. Before we get into these next 2, where I don't expect there to be much, if any, time gaps, and certainly should be favorable for us. But of note, Kevin Vermark has leveled up. He has gone from a 77 to a 78 overall. Still in 81 hills, I believe. I think he picked up 1 mountain point. I'm not quite sure where his points came from. But I do know of note and important to this tour that we're in the middle of is that Denny Ginn also has leveled up. He's got low potential. This was showing higher before, so I think it was a 4 or 5. But anyway, Denny Ginn, well, he's picked up 1 mountain point. He's gone from a 76 to a 77. I looked back at the last episode real quick to see, after I noticed that he had leveled up. His resistance is the same, though. It's still just a 68, and that is his big weakness. So not terribly helpful for us, but 1 more mountain point makes him a little bit quicker on those climbs, a little stronger on those climbs. He's only 23. He should be making some progress in this area. I don't know if he's got a low cap. It's possible that he's got a low cap there. As for Stage Racer, poor man's Stage Racer, he's pretty good. 77 mountain, 77 time trial, 71 recovery. It's all good. It's that stamina resistance that hurts him. Everywhere else, you're totally fine with what he has. I mean, 72 downhill is pretty good. 75 hills is good. 74 prologue is good. Those things aren't amazing, but they're good. Recovery, 71, is not amazing, but that's enough. He's not going to be a 3-week Grand Tour kind of leader, though maybe you throw him in at Vuelta and go for it, but I don't know. I don't think he's strong enough for that. Throw him in at Tour de Suisse or something like that. Resting a leader, like maybe next year. Maybe Pavel Rodriguez goes for all 3 Grand Tours next year. Especially if he pulls off a win here, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The diversity of the team is now looking really good as we got a 79, 78, 77, 76 at the top, a few 75s, a couple 74s, a bunch of 73s and 72s, and then Mishik Smith, who's lagging behind. Really expected him to level up by now, just 23, and supposed to be, I believe, a 5.8 potential, even if he's a 5. Where's the levels, Mr. Smith? You've been at this 70 for a really long time. Well back into last season. Okay, well, anyway. Any moment now, right? Any moment now. He should be leveling up. Let's get back to the tour and see what we can do with this one. Stage 16. It's pretty easy to survive this one. It's going to be really, really hard to drop anyone. But if we make a little team effort up this climb, we might be able to thin that field out a bit and then use the descent to keep it hard, keep it attacking, and maybe have a small group at the finish. Maybe. It'll also depend on Rodriguez and what his race day condition is. He's only looking like a +1 today, so the motivation, don't know where that one went, why he's suddenly not motivated anymore. He's won 3 stages. I don't know why he wouldn't be motivated now, but whatever. +1 expected today. Even if he has the +1, I think we could feel pretty confident to get after it and try to do something. Join up much earlier than expected, only halfway through the stage. But today was clearly the day that the breakaway was going to go claim victory by a massive margin if we, as the leading team, didn't do something about it. So Telford just spent 50 kilometers on the front, bringing a 10-minute gap down to about 6.5 minutes. He is now starting to recover, and David Killen has now taken over that duty, though he is finally joined by a few other riders. We're going to make him ride a little bit harder now. as the gap is at 5 minutes, and actually it's started to grow again here recently. So we are being joined by other teams in that pursuit, so it's not such a bad thing any longer. But we are the ones having to put in the kilometers today at the front to keep that breakaway in check. But as it grows, or as it shrinks to under 4 minutes, things are looking a little better. And now we've got a team effort here, 5 riders coming up for these guys. The green jersey, well, we know why he came up. That's all they came up for. So that was a team effort to get the green jersey. Additional points. That's Caleb Ewan. Okay, Telford's going to get water, and then we're going to put him back on the front. It's back down to just 3.5 minutes, so it is back in check. Those 8 riders are not going to grab a massive, easy victory today. Telford, and there we go. Back in the order. And Killen is done, and if he can, he'll recover. So sacrificing 2 guys for this task. I was hoping to make this final climb a little hard to try to break up the Peloton a bit today. I just used up 2 of my riders for that though, but that's okay. We can still have a go at it. 9.5K, 5%. It's not that hard of a climb. And here we go. Okay, in position. What I was wanting to do initially is take a few guys and make them, let's do Johnson, make them ride hard. Johnson doesn't have to ride quite as hard for that, as he's a strong climber. Smith protecting Rodriguez at the moment. Get these guys set to hang on and not get dropped while climbing. Rodriguez just kind of cruising along with the 75, no problem. Alright, so full Peloton intact right now. 3:46 to the breakaway. They're actually pulling away a little bit. I think it was at 3.5. So our tempo is, yeah, it's actually coming back up right now and not going down. Could be because Telford is not much of a climber. Telford, Joe.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
Joe.
There's an attack in the leading group. Some riders were not giving it their all and sharing the pace. We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
They might hang on and get that stage win today, but they shouldn't be close enough to really impact too much. All right, Johnson's going to take over, and now we're going to push. And that is going to instantly do some damage. So, Killen, Dunn, Telford, can't even keep up. Actually, now's a good time to carry out the plan. Again, why are you so far back? I want you to come up behind Rodriguez and ride a support position. We've got Millar and Berwick ahead of us. And where is Smith? Once Smith comes up, he'll take over for a moment.
Counter-attack by Tej Benut.
There's a few riders jockeying for position at the front.
Here's a team that's going for it. And that's not KOM points they're going for. They're just trying to make a late charge here. Let's see, whoever that is at the front is still continuing on. Okay, Smith.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed. There's now just 10 kilometers left. Now the guys up front are asking serious questions of the riders in the rear as more of them are left in the wake.
All right, we're about to go into the descent. This doesn't look to be too difficult of a descent.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Okay, to go to the finish. 3 minutes to the breakaway, so yes, they are going to hang on. And at the moment, we have a peloton of just 38 riders. Benut with a small advantage there, but I think we're about to pull that back. And we do.
And they're off. It's going to be very fast.
For others to come back at us.
Counter-attack by David Gaudu.
A great victory. He really
Tom
handled the
Pidcock
breakaway
takes the
well.
stage win ahead of Nielsen Paulus. 1.2K. Berwick now to lead out Rodriguez. Sprint all. There's nothing to actually go for here, as all 8 riders, Karen gets dropped by the others, still makes it to the line just ahead of us. Benut somehow takes that best of the rest with 9th. Alpha 10th. Of course, those are your classics kind of guys, so not a big surprise on that one. But there you go, across the line.
Difficult race.
Don't think any contenders lost any sort of time here. I don't think anybody was at risk. Rodriguez finished 16th on the stage. Andrade was right behind him.
We've selected the following highlights for you.
These breakaway riders were all well out of contention, so no worries there. 2:47 ended up the gap. And let's see, time gaps. Not given behind us. Same time all the way down to Yves Lampart. Why? Huge gaps all over. Silly game. Not that it mattered. The contenders were all on the same time, but just find it a little silly that they don't give the time gaps that were there and were clear and were sizable and were well before the finish when they were established. They were established on the climb, not on the descent. Taking a look, update on the dossiers. So, Bryden's Holt, 100%. Ilya Fenn, 100%. That's good. We got a chance. Those guys are 81s overall. They're going to be expensive, but they might be more affordable than some of the others. Stage 17 now, and we've got a little climb before we get into the climb here. We've got a Category 2 followed almost immediately by a Category 1. I'm not sure what makes that a Category 1. It's a slightly steeper than the Category 2, but it's a shorter climb. And then a Cat 2 just before the finish. We're going to try to do some damage on that Cat 2. For now, we just want to make sure that the breakaway is in check. A minute and a half, 11 riders, no problem there. And we want to make sure that we don't see any problems going backwards. And again, is having a problem with that.
There's an attack from inside the breakaway group.
Again, speed up. Oh, Berwick. Telford going backwards, but not from lack of effort, but from... There you go. That's back together. Oh, come on. Again. Again
the
just
pace
does
is
not
really
like to
hot, so
remain
for the
in
moment,
contact,
we
apparently.
shouldn't see too many attacks.
Okay, let them do the chasing. Telford's in this group. We'll set him to auto. If he recovers, actually, he could just bury himself to try to bring this thing. You know what? I don't need Ginn back. I do not need Ginn back. Relax. Relax. Let him go. Let him go. All right, here's Berwick. Berwick's at the back of the group. Go ahead and get water. 73. 73 in the peloton. I'm happy with a smaller group. Come on, Berwick. Get on through. Get on through. Okay, Smith is nearly done in this group. He is protecting Johnson, not Rodriguez. And never mind, everything just came back together. It's one of those days. It's one of those days. I'm playing it a little quick, and that is the cause. Berwick, why are you going backwards, though. I mean, why did you just go from there to here? $99 left, 76 left, 88 left. There's some number. It's yo-yoing. Telford, Smith, done. Definitely not coming back. 71 here. Killen, done. Berwick, hanging on. Like him to still be around for the final bits.
The pack is slowly whittling away the lead. Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Let's go ahead and shell up now. Oh. Mastroselli just blocked Berwick, and he lost 2 bike lengths, and that definitely put him off the back. He's back in contact, but these guys are going out the back, so... Niels Pollitt. It's a lot of riders getting dropped, surprisingly. Perfectly happy with that. And Berwick, too far back. He's done. Again on the verge of getting dropped. Nearly caught the rest of the breakaway riders. Again is
the pack
dropped.
Is back on level terms with the breakaway group. A courageous rider is looking to break away.
And now we've got 46 chasing 1, now 47.
This is the last third of the race. The team leaders have their minds fixed on today's goal.
Let all 3 of these guys recover. And they're sitting up, so the group is actually coming up in size. Ginn. As soon as Ginn makes contact, I think that's where I'll change this up. They're 2.5 minutes back. I'm not sure they're going to make it back. 59 riders here now at the front. They did make it back. Never mind. That was the next group. Or they just made it back. Anyway, let's put Ginn at the front and let's make
the
this
pace has slowed somewhat.
Harder.
It's perhaps due to fatigue, but I'd bet on some sort of tactical choice.
Ginn should be pushing here. He's on a -1 today, so he's the one sacrificing himself. 61 now at the front, so the group's gotten larger and larger. Berwick is only a minute behind in the chasing group of 3.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a frantic pace.
Oh, we just broke off 10 riders. And they regain contact. Finally, some support. Somebody else working at the front. Again, we'll try to recover a little bit. Keep splitting riders off the back, but
the peloton has definitely accelerated,
contact.
Meaning that an attack is highly unlikely.
29K to go overall, and they're coming up on that final climb. I will sprint train this one, and definitely go for the let's make it difficult. We're getting close enough now where it's time to set this up. Doesn't mean we're necessarily going yet, but Johnson 80.76 today. Malar is 79.77 today, and then Ginn 77.68. That's the reason why Ginn was struggling compared to everybody else. Slowly. We don't need to do anything until we hit the climb. Those guys sat up big time, and yeah, the peloton just grew massively in that moment.
The peloton has slowed down a bit.
2-3 groups regained contact. Just as that guy sat up, it was like, oh, I'm going to adjust my jersey. And nobody took over. And we were caught. 5th wheel, and that's all it gosh, words, hello. That's all it needed to add 30 riders back into the peloton.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
One guy sits up for just a second as the pace lifts. Downhill, fast downhill. A lot of ground can be covered quite quickly. Alright, we're going at a 90. That will split some riders off. But how long will it take until they don't have the energy to stay up with us? Steepest section already. 7.5K, 6% is all. And that's 2 kilometers of it.
The riders have upped the pace.
Gotta have some guys left for the descent to keep it hard. Van Aert coming up. Other Jumbo Visma riders. Okay, Gin is done.
15 kilometers
Millar.
remaining.
Come on, Millar. Find some space over here, please. Ironsman. Teo, there's Benut. Yurshav. Salaphilippe. 82 riders. This is really not split off that many riders as we are approaching the top. Millar, 99. Red bar is gone, so just give whatever you got left. Get Johnson on the descent as we hit the top. Rodriguez third over the top. He's going to pick up a few points for that.
The riders have taken their foot off the accelerator. Either they're getting a bit hot or they're saving themselves for the
10K
final
to
dash.
go.
10 kilometers to the finish
Millar
line.
on the descent, going as fast as he can. 68 riders. And then we'll get Johnson when it levels out a little bit. So I'll gel up for him. And then gel up for Rodriguez. Still going with Millar. Now it's going to level off a little
5
bit.
kilometers
5K
to the
go,
finish
so
line.
he's going to use up that energy here pretty quickly. Lasted longer than I thought. 3.5K to go. On to Johnson. 2K to go.
And there goes
Sprint
the
it
mad
out.
burst for the
There we
final
go.
sprint.
Rodriguez, can we get him a podium today? Come on, Rodriguez, get out from behind that. Oh, he's going to be fourth. Fourth today. Alaphilippe
He
for the
really
win.
had to fight for that one.
Hershey
A
second.
great
Uman
sprint
third.
finish.
Rodriguez just misses out on grabbing some seconds in fourth place. Not enough time left to get the next stage in, so we're going to go ahead and call it an episode, even though it's a little short. Stage 18, mountain stage. We're done with the hill stages, at least regular hill stages. So we've got 18, 19, and we're going to play that out definitely in its entirety. 18, we'll pick it up about here for the start of the next episode. 20, the time trial, the decisive 3 stages, and yet we still lead this race. Whew. So far, so good. But 2 big mountain stages, and we're down to a +1 for Rodriguez the rest of the way. And he has not strayed away at all in this race. In fact, I'd say his net is probably a -1 from expected race day condition. He has had exactly what was expected almost every single stage. Actually, I think the net's a -2 through 17 stages. So far, he's right where you'd expect him to be. Hopefully that remains true in the 2 stages to come, especially because that's where the big time gaps can be, and that's where the position can drastically change. Stage 20, Barrow obviously is going to be a real threat with his position. And let me see, where is Barrow? Oh, he's an 80 time trial too. That's going to be tough. That is going to be tough to be making 71,000. Holy cow, dude. It's more than my entire team. Or is what my entire team is making. Just about. Oh gosh, what are we even at? I've forgotten. It's not much. 107. He's making 3/4 of what our team makes. Man, oh man. Okay, well, anyway. So, Rodriguez is in a strong position. He's making 13,000. That for comparison. Time trial wise, we're 1 point below. We're a slightly stronger climber. Very, very similar with Barrow, and so far so good. But anyway, Barrow's a definite threat. Top Step, I'd be happy with second if Barrow happens to beat us on stage 20. I'd like to still be in the position we're in after the next 2 stages and not lose 3, 4, 5 minutes at one point and drop a bunch of positions. So I'm hoping the race day condition can stay, about where it's been. It would be beautiful because we do have that net -2. If we could get to just net neutral, 0, if we could pick up that +2 on one of these 3 stages and still keep the other 2 at about right where they're supposed to be, +1. So a +1, a +3, +1 in those 3 days. That'd be wonderful. I don't care what they do to us on stage 21. Give me a -5 on that day. If you want to give me the +5 on the other 3 days somewhere to make up for it. But we're due, karma-wise, we are due some positives. But I'm perfectly content with just getting what is due to us and not seeing a big negative on one of these 3 days coming. That's my goal. And if that happens, I think we are just fine hanging on to likely a top 2 at this point. But that doesn't mean we're going to get that. We could certainly slip. I don't see us slipping off the podium on a bad day, but you never know. It's still pretty tight. There's still a lot of riders in with some sort of shout. I mean, last time I checked, there was about 9 riders with some amount of contention left. So far, so good, though. And we've been saying that throughout, and we're getting later and later in this thing. The 3 big decisive stages to come. That does it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.